Vader might join us in the video this evening. Vader, what are you doing? You're sniffing around. Sniffing everything. Hi. Come here, buddy. What you doing? Say hi to your camera. Give me kisses. Oh, good boy. Ugh, right in the mouth. Okay. Okay. Anyway, I have to pet the dog and keep him preoccupied because he was whining at the door before this. I wanted to do kind of just a fun little video. The next video I do after this is going to be on outlining so that I can release that on October 1st. I'm going to go in depth with my own outlining process because it's a little bit different than any of the ones that I've seen on other things. He is trying to eat my hand. But that's going to be my next video. This one's going to be a little less structured and a little less professional. As if the dog wasn't a dead giveaway. Vader, you're so unprofessional. But anyway, if you're hearing weird noises, it's because he's rubbing all over the bed. Because he had an ear infection recently, and now he's rubbing against everything. Because it's not 100% better yet. But this one's going to be a little bit less organized and stuff. And it might end up being a very long video. But I wanted to go over the 3 reasons why I have stuck with writing as my main hobby and interest for a creative outlet. Now, I want to give a little backstory to why, to me, that's so significant. Because I don't usually stick with hobbies. I usually get super interested in something for about a month to 3 months max. I waste a lot of money on it, whatever hobby it is, and then I get bored of it and I stop doing it. Now, I have officially been writing for almost exactly a year now, and I don't think I would ever describe it as something that I can ever imagine getting bored of and dropping now because I'm completely hooked. Peter, is Mama hooked? Is Mama hooked? She's hooked on your teeth. You're getting my sleeve. But no, don't grab my hair tie. Sorry, this video is going to be really weird. My dog is stealing the show. You are stealing the show. All right, stop. What do you think of his little lion tail? Anyway, Peter, stop. What are you after? Anyway, so I wanted to talk about that because I've been writing for almost a year now, and that's the longest I've ever kept up interest in hobby consistently, where I was just really into it, just constantly. Other hobbies I've had, or interests I've had, I have kept longer than a couple of months, but I wasn't really invested in them after the first couple of months. And writing, I just seem to be getting more and more invested in, and I'm really excited about it. So I thought I'd share the top 3 reasons that I've found that I really love writing and why I think it's like the best creative outlet in the world. So first one is that I think I really love writing, partially because I never get bored of it. There's always something new to learn, and there's never a chance to get bored of a particular part because you write one scene and you're on to something different. Technically, you're on something different at that point. Even if it's the same overall story, you're always in a different part of the story. Or as soon as you're done drafting the first draft, you get to work on different elements of the novel. So that's something different and it changes it up. I don't like having to work on the same type of thing for too long. I have to be able to switch gears occasionally to be able to stay interested. And writing always allows you to switch gears. Whether it be switching to a new story or switching what you're working on from drafting to editing or working on your social media platform or whatever the heck you're doing, depending on what your goals are in writing. The dog, stop it. The dog is sticking his nose on my butt. Stop. Sorry, he's going to interrupt this whole video. I'm just letting you know in advance. Funny things might happen. This might be more of a like America's Funniest Home Videos type material than a writing videos type video. But, you are being so naughty. You want my hair tie off my wrist. Yeah. You can't have it. No. Thank you. Leave it. Good boy. Okay. Good boy. You want to sit? Sit. Good boy. Good dog. Anyway, sorry, this is going to be super rambly, so if you're not digging the rambly disorganization of this particular video, feel free to skip. This is just more like a video diary type entry. But, so that's the first reason, is that I never get a chance to be bored. I always, anytime I feel like I'm starting to get bored, I can switch to something else for a little bit and then just come back to it when I want to. And every time I think I'm starting to get bored, I run into a new part in the story or whatever that reinvests me in the story, and I get passionate about it again. And it lights that spark again about how excited I am to keep writing whatever it is that I'm writing. And I just think that is so much fun. And I just love that about all this. I really wish I had learned about this sooner, because for a long time, I very much felt like I didn't have any hobby I was really, truly invested in. And it always made me feel a little bit empty. And I know it's kind of cliche to say something like fulfilled you fully or something, but that's really what I feel like writing has done at this point, is I found the thing that I really love doing. And I still wouldn't want to do it as a full-time job, because for me, even things I love, if I have to do them as a full-time job instead of doing them because I just want to, it tends to ruin them for me. So I still wouldn't want to do that, but I do love it a lot. And that's my first thing that I really loved about it. The second thing that I really love about it, and this is going to sound so hippy-dippy and kind of like peace, love type stuff, but I've noticed that since I've been writing, it's really helped me to be more compassionate towards other people. And hear me out, because like I said, it sounds super hippy-dippy and weird, but I have this problem, and I'm sure a lot of people do, because this is how some stories are written too, is that the bad guys are bad, and they're just bad. There's no actual justification for why they're bad. They're just the bad guys. That's what we've been taught in every superhero movie, or like any movie that has like the stereotypical mustache twirling villain, is that they're just evil for the purposes of being evil. And we've learned as writers that that's bad writing. You should give your villain a motive or something that makes them like empathy, where you can empathize with them to some extent, even if you don't agree with what they're doing or the route they're taking to get to their ends. The means doesn't justify the ends type thing. And we've gotten really good recently at trying to implement that in our storytelling, and recognizing that the bad guys actually have motives or events in their lives that led them to become this bad guy, and they aren't just inherently evil. It's just circumstances as well as a bunch of other stuff have kind of conspired against them, and this is the product that's turned out. But we're not really good at still applying that to other people. We see somebody who cuts us off in traffic, and we think, oh, that guy's just a stupid jerk. What a prick who cut me off. He must not care about his life. What an asshole. Meh. But writing has really, and this is weird because I noticed it today, where I had a reaction that was not my typical reaction to something unpleasant that was done, where typically I'd just be like, oh, that guy's a jerk. He's like an evil prick. But, and I was like, oh shoot, I bet that guy had like a really bad day or something and he's stressed out. Or I bet he got a call from his kid that made him worried, and that's why he's driving home, and he's driving kind of like a lunatic because he can't get a hold of his kid, but his kid left a message on his machine and it sounded really bad, like his kid broke his arm or something. And that's why he's driving badly, because he's stressed out. That's something that would make me drive badly. And the fact that I immediately go into storyteller mode of trying to find the motives behind these things so that it's kind of like I make up these stories for people. It makes me not be as mad at them. And I really, really like that. That has been a side effect of writing, that I've started being a little bit more understanding of people, even if these are purely made up things, like maybe he really is just a jerk. But for me, it makes my day better. I'm not sitting there white knuckling on the steering wheel thinking, oh, this guy's a prick who cut me off and almost hit me or something. I'm thinking, oh shoot, well, I hope he gets home safe and nobody gets hurt while he's driving like that because he's stressed out because this thing happened or whatever. And that is such a nicer feeling to have than sitting there being stressed out and pissed off, you know? So that's the other thing I really, really enjoyed about writing as a hobby. And one of the things that makes me think I would never want to quit this hobby, or quit writing, I guess. I don't necessarily have to call it a hobby. I mean, right now it's a hobby, but I don't know what it would be in the future. The third thing I did have in my head, but now I have forgotten. And I'm trying to remember it. Oh, that's what it was. Is that, now this sounds weird because because we tend to associate being a writer with being an introvert who like stays in a dark room and just types all day, like the guy from I'm blanking on the movie, the one with the little dog, and he's this asshole who writes romantic novels, but he's kind of a prick, and he's stuck inside of an apartment and he never leaves, and he's a jerk to his poor gay neighbor. I can't remember what it's called right now. I'm totally blanking. But anyway, we tend to assume that writers are all like that they don't want to be out around people, and that they're really introverted, and that they kind of hate people in general. And one of the things that I found that I like about writing, on top of the fact that it makes me more compassionate towards people, is that it forces me to go out more. And it makes being out more, because I don't typically like to be out. It's not in my nature to want to be out a lot and around people. But writing makes me want to go out more. Now, that sounds counterintuitive, because you'd think, well, if you like writing, you think you'd want to be in more to be writing. But it's like, no, I want to go out and actually see things that inspire me and give me ideas for writing. And especially people. I love watching people. I especially love, now this is an interaction I like passionately look forward to anytime I go to a grocery store. And if you go to a big enough grocery store at any busy enough time, you are almost bound to see this interaction. And I love this interaction because it gives me ideas for stories, is when I see a parent and their child, like a young child, interacting well. Now, you've obviously got the times where they're not interacting well, and the kid's screaming, or the kid's asking for something and the parent doesn't want them to have it, so they're kind of being snippy with their kid. You've got those too. But I love the ones when I see like a parent and their kid, and they're just having this moment, and to them it's probably just very normal, but I'm just looking at it and I'm kind of watching from a distance like a creeper. And oh, my dog bumped my camera. Doodle, come here, bud. And they have something nice, like you see like a dad buy his son an ice cream cone because the kid asked if he could have it, and he's like, sure, Jose, or whatever. And he's just like, sure, Jose, you could have an ice cream cone. And he gets him an ice cream cone, and the kid's just so happy. And the dad, you can see that the dad's face lights up because he knows he made his kid happy. Those kind of moments, I just love those so much. And I like live for watching those out in the world now. And I think that's the third reason why I really like writing, is that even though it's counterintuitive, it actually makes me want to go out into the world more, even though you'd think I'd want to be in writing more. And it makes me less cynical. I guess that's another thing, is because I'm watching these interactions more closely, looking for those kind of things. I'm less cynical about people in general, because I'm purposely looking for these positive things instead of always keeping an eye out for the negative things, which tends to be our go-to. So anyway, that's the end of my very informal and very long video. Hopefully a little bit of this might have been edifying for you. I would like to challenge you, if you did get through this video, to think of 3 reasons why you think writing is the best hobby for you and why you really enjoy it and find it fulfilling. Anyway, my dog is trying to lick me to death. Okay, we'll go play in a minute. Anyway, I'm going to let you go. You guys have a great night, and I will talk to you soon with a outlining video. Alrighty, bye-bye.